Hey guys, we're sitting here with Curtis Duffy, executive chef of Ever. Absolutely amazing to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Maybe we can just jump right into early in your career. What was that moment where you decided you're like, this is it, I want to be a chef?
I would say I stepped into the kitchen when I was 14 and was washing dishes. I had a moment where, when I wasn't washing dishes, I was peeling vegetables and doing the things that a dishwasher would normally do when you're not washing dishes.
Yeah.
I couldn't say that was my moment, but as time went on and I changed jobs and went into high school, I had a moment that, I just felt like I was good at something. I was somewhat creative in what I was doing at the time and felt like that was my drive, and decided like, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to pursue 100%.
What was the restaurant? Do you remember? And where was it?
When you were dishwashing?
No, I was actually washing dishes for a private country club in New Albany, Ohio.
Oh, shit. I just think that's so hilarious. Like, for people out there that know who you are, they're like, Curtis Duffy wash fucking dishes,
I
man?
still wash dishes to this day. Every single
Fuck
day
yeah.
I wash dishes, and that's I make all my chefs wash dishes as well. I think it's
that's
important to never forget where you come from, but it also gives you a greater respect in the kitchen.
Right.
I think every job is equal. I've always treated that the same way. If you can sweep the floor with the same passion as you can fillet a fish or pick an herb, you're going to win. That's success.
I love that. I mean, I think we definitely believe in that philosophy as well. Our kitchen, from the dishwasher to our lead line cook, everyone makes the same money. You get the same base pay, and we just started this bonus system where it's like optional service fee on every check that comes down, and all of that goes to the back of house, gets split evenly between everyone. But yeah, definitely, like, whether you're dishwashing, picking herbs, on the line, like whatever you're doing, like, we can't succeed without every single component there.
Absolutely,
So, yeah,
absolutely.
I love that.
It makes everybody pull their weight evenly.
For sure.
And nobody's going to really outshine someone else.
Yeah, I just feel like these days, especially, we've been lacking in that, like, that people with like that intense work ethic, and just like there's just so much entitlement now.
Well, yeah, I think most people don't understand. As you guys were both alluding to, like the value of each and every individual in the restaurant. When it doesn't matter the title, like every position matters so much. Like at Ever, I think there's like this. I wonder for you, family versus team, right? I think you kind of mentioned this in an article before. Like, do you want to explain how you differentiate those terms and what it means to you guys at the restaurant?
Well, to start, Michael and I call all of our employees kids, because they are our family. Their problems are essentially become our problems throughout their time there. Yeah. So we try to treat them as family. We give them the same amount of respect as you would give your wife or husband. And, we look at them, they're I'm the lucky one to be the face on the door, but behind the scenes, they're the one that's putting out every single day, tremendous amount of work effort into everything that they do. So to us, they're family. We spend majority of our time with them more than we do sometimes with our actual families.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's in most cases, right?
Yeah, I think so. In the restaurant business, definitely.
Yeah, whether we like it or not. We're always like, we see your beautiful faces more than I see my own loved ones. So
absolutely,
that's what real family is, whether you like it or not.
Right.
You don't choose these people. That's not how this works.
Oh God, it's so true. That was Chuck, by the way.
Touching on Michael, in case any listeners out there don't know, Michael Muser is your partner and general manager. You guys have now worked over a decade with each other. That's amazing. When was it when was that moment where you were like, all right, this is my fucking guy? Like, what was that?
I'll tell you, like the second day I met him.
No way.
I mean, the first day I met him, I was walking into the Peninsula to take on the chef position at Avenues, and I had heard Michael's name as the wine director of the hotel.
Okay.
And if some of you have seen the documentary, I kind of poked fun at
you
his
thought
last
he was
name.
French.
I thought he was a French guy.
Musel.
So I was like, Musel. I was like, oh man, here we go. This is going to be interesting. And the moment I met him, we just started vibing, talking about personal stuff, past interests, where we've been, what we've been doing, and it was just an immediate connection, and it has been like that ever since. We have a lot of the great same interests together, and
Yeah.
How has that relationship evolved for you guys? I mean, just going through so much and the time that you guys have spent together. What do you feel like really adds and enriches to the relationship you guys have?
well, I think like any relationship, it takes work, it takes effort on both sides. It's not a one-way relationship. We both have to put the effort into to the relationship, and what we've been through in the past. I think it just really congeals everything that we've laid in stone prior to that. It's just, we're going to get through this. We have the same, we weren't finished when we left Grace. We had the same ambitions to go on and do something else for the city, another great restaurant for the city. And that's always been our drive. So, our relationship has stayed true to that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Was Avenues in where Shanghai Terrace is currently right now? Is that the location?
No, actually, Shanghai Terrace is still there. Avenues was tucked in the corner. You had to walk through the lobby of the Peninsula.
Okay.
All the way into the back corner. A lot of people didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the space. And I've walked through the Peninsula.
Yeah, well, you can still see, there's still a sign there.
Oh, no.
That's what I heard. I heard this actually a few days ago, that there's still the Avenue sign up there, but I know they did turn it into a banquet space, because I've been in the banquet space.
Right.
But you have to walk all the way to the other side of the lobby to get to it.
Oh, I wonder
There's a set of
I've seen it.
There's
Big
a set
tall
of
windows.
grand staircases, and you
Yeah.
have to go to the right.
Got it. That's interesting. Yeah, we just me and Angeline just walked through the space not that long ago. That's
Okay.
pretty cool.
What are you doing there?
Well, like we were in the neighborhood. We went to the new restaurant inside the Northwestern Hospital.
What?
There's one on the terrace. It's
Up on Pain?
No, I don't remember the name of it, but anyway, so we were in the neighborhood, and then so funny enough, when I was young and I wanted to get into the restaurant business, my goal and dream was always to get to Michelin, and one of my first opportunities of getting downtown was at the Peninsula Hotel. And then I heard Lee Wolin was the chef at the lobby, and I was like, fuck, this guy's from the EMP, like I want to go fucking work for him. But I ended up going a different route, and then, lucky for me, Lee Wolin ended up leaving the lobby and took over the Boca. So, but yeah, so we were over there looking at the space, and we know the concierge Gary. He's amazing. So
Gary's awesome.
yeah, Gary. Big shout out to Gary. He's always sending us people, and he's just
great.
like most amazing human being. So, love the guy very much. Did Michael always ride bikes before that, or was that something you guys both connected to, or you introduced to him?
So the story goes, he apparently rode motorcycles as a child, dirt bikes.
Oh, okay.
I never saw photos. I did as well.
Prove it,
rode-
Michael.
Yeah,
prove
exactly.
it.
I have pictures to prove mine. But I've been riding since I was 5 years old. I had training wheels on my first motorcycle.
What
And yeah, so I signed up. I said to myself, you know what? When I moved to Chicago, I let my license expire.
Yeah.
And I never renewed my motorcycle license because I didn't have a motorcycle at the time. So what was the point? And I was just working tremendously, the amount of hours. It was no time to have a motorcycle and actually enjoy it. So I said to Michael one day, I said, you know what? I'm going to go and get my motorcycle license again. And he said, oh, I'll do it. I'll get mine.
Yeah.
So I went and paid for both of our classes to get motorcycle license. And coming up on the day or two before it, he's like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, no, you're going to do it because I paid for it. We're going.
Oh no.
So we ended up taking the class.
How was he in the class? Let's be honest.
He was good. Everybody was great in the class. So,
But did he look like someone that's been riding since he was a kid?
yeah, it wasn't. You could tell it wasn't his first time on a
Okay,
motorcycle,
all right.
so it was good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got our license, and the rest is history.
Awesome.
I mean,
What was like the first, like I know you started as a young kid, but like what was the bike maybe in your teenage years? Like when you first got your first bike, right? Like what was the one that you were like, I'm gonna get this fucking bike, like that's the one.
it was a GSXR
Okay.
1100.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
That's a big boy
15,
bike,
so I
by
was
the way.
16 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
We
was
called them
stupid.
Gixxers growing up.
Yeah,
That was like
back in the day, they weren't so.
like flashy.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. They
Right.
changed their style quite a bit. I wouldn't ride one now, but
Got it. What do you ride now?
I ride a BMW R 1000.
Oh shit. Awesome.
It's
I'm always afraid
pretty
I'm
amazing.
going to die if I just like start writing.
Yeah.
I'm just
What-
so clumsy. It's
yeah.
just-
As I get older, obviously I've matured
Right.
a lot, and
in how you
I'm
ride.
not
Yeah,
as
flying
ignorant as
down.
I was when I think back of my younger years of what I would do on it.
What is it about
riding?
riding that like draws you to it so much?
Everything, it is a complete disconnection to everything in my world. It's the road, the wind, and complete silence.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not answering my phone. I'm not looking at text messages. I'm not on social media. I'm not receiving phone calls or answering to any of my chefs, or
Yeah.
it's just total disconnect.
Moment of freedom.
And it's much needed all the time. I don't get it as much as I want, but yeah, it's a total disconnect.
How often are you riding?
I'll tell you, like, I've been on my bike like 3 times this year,
Oh my God.
which is a damn shame.
You rode in today.
I rode in today, yeah.
I was like, as soon as I saw your helmet, I was like, man, this guy he just rides everywhere.
Well, God, I wish. No, because I have my dog, and
Oh, okay.
I have family priorities as well,
Right.
my children. So it's like I'm just bouncing it. At the time, I have to have a car.
Do you live in the city?
I live in Rogers Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to ride one of those bikes in the city, man. Like, just
It
you don't really
is.
get to let that thing rip. So
No, that's why you get on the highway, and I could be here in 5 minutes.
right. I had a 1978 that I did the whole cafe thing, but this is before cafes were cool.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're a lot of fun because, like, those old bikes, like, I'm at least getting to third gear. Like, you're not getting anything past second gear downtown,
No,
like,
not at all.
so I can't imagine it being too fun. But I know you guys used to ride out of the city and do these long rides together. You guys go up to, like, Southwest Wisconsin.
We head to, at least once a year, we head down to South Carolina.
Oh, shit.
We head down to the Carolinas, and because they have some of the most amazing roads down there.
Yeah.
They have Blue Ridge Parkway, which is some of the most scenic, beautiful rides through the mountains with big swooping curves and just
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
flawless roads. I mean,
Yeah.
you can take a corner at 160 miles an hour and not even think twice about it. It's just,
Jesus Christ.
it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah.
So we try to get down there every year.
Yeah.
Also, we do an event with Euphoria, which is sponsored by the Michelin Group, and we try to get down there and cook every year.
Cool.
For a charity event down there.
Awesome.
So that entails us, like, let's just
Yeah, it's an
tie it
excuse
all
to,
in together, and then we leave from Greenville, and we go and ride, some amazing roads down there. They also have the Tail of the Dragon. If you're not familiar, it's 11 miles, 315 turns.
Oh,
In
wow.
11 miles, so it just snakes through the mountains.
Jesus. Are you camping when you're riding, or are you staying at home?
No, we could get this shitty ass cheap hotel and just, there's usually like 7 or 8 guys all
Yeah.
piled into one hotel room
Oh,
just
man.
I'm surprised you guys don't
Have
get
a
into, like,
blast.
bike packing and stuff, which has gotten wildly popular over the last, like, year,
Yeah.
several years.
to, maybe down the line. It's just,
Yeah.
You're on a time crunch. You got to get down there.
That's
Try
true.
to enjoy it, and then you got to get back to work. So,
Yeah, he's not like Danny. Like, our buddy Danny's got, like, he's not running a 2 or 3 Michelin star restaurant. So,
Sure.
but he does some amazing bike camping rides.
Yeah, man.
He
Fun,
bike packs
fun.
in, like, he's been up to almost he's been to
Everywhere,
Alaska.
man. Yeah, and he's done like the whole West Coast all the way down
Yeah.
to Mexico. He's gone through from here to California many times.
He
Yeah,
scooted
he's-
through Southeast Asia for like 6 months, which is pretty fucking.
That's
insane.
awesome. Michael's done the whole cross country and back.
Oh,
on
really?
his bike, yeah.
Damn.
With his wife a few years ago.
He-
Actually, this is probably pushing 10 years ago now.
What does he ride?
Depends on what day it's not getting stolen.
Jesus.
He's had a couple bikes stolen from him, so
Yeah.
right now he's riding the XR 1000 BMW.
Nice. You guys are all about those beamers.
Yeah, they're phenomenal bikes. They
Yeah.
really are.
I want one of those. That's like my dream one, but they're like some of those guys are up to like $30,000 for like those touring bikes.
Easy.
Yeah, that's the one though. That's like my final bike is a nice touring bike from BMW.
And that's what he was riding across country, was a K1600.
Oh, nice.
That thing just was a rocket ship, and cruise control and just 110 miles an hour, just
Yeah.
let it go.
You guys don't listen to music inside the helmet? You guys don't have the headphones
Oh, I do.
built in?
Yeah, I
you
do. I do,
Okay.
yeah.
And what do you like listening to when you're riding?
When I'm in the city, I don't listen to anything. It's all focus.
Right.
There's so
Don't
many
wanna be-
potholes. There's so many
Yeah.
idiot drivers. And so when I get out in the city where I can actually let it go, I'll put on just a playlist of mostly heavy metal.
Okay. What's your go-to?
Danzig, Marilyn Manson, Korn, Anthrax,
Got it.
the classics.
And you had some of those guys at your restaurant, right? I mean, was that like for you? Was that the most starstruck you've been?
To have Manson at the restaurant was it was like my all-time dream.
Damn, yeah.
I was in LA a few weeks ago, and my good friend Corey, we had dinner with Glenn Danzig. So we shut down this Japanese restaurant in LA, and they fed myself, Glenn Danzig, my buddy Corey, and 2 of my chefs and his wife.
No shit.
And it was phenomenal. So we're actually heading this Thursday, we're heading out to Vegas to see him perform.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Which we're really excited about.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
What am
I mean, I haven't, done anywhere near the things you've done, but like, yeah, through doing what I love to do, which is cooking, it's like I've gotten to, like fulfill, like meet amazing people, like things I would never have dreamed of doing. For you, it's like, besides Marilyn Manson, do you have any other like moments in your life where you're just like, oh my God, like I cannot believe this is happening?
I mean, I've been able to travel the world using my knife. It's been been pretty amazing. Receiving 3 Michelin stars was one of those moments as well. Just a moment I still think to myself, like, is it even real?
Did you know you were gonna get those stars when you opened Grace?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not at all. I mean, look, since I say this a lot because when I started cooking, well, I never started cooking because I wanted to receive accolades. That just became a secondary thing. And, that's somebody telling you that you're doing something great within, the profession you choose. And with Grace, it was never the intention. I mean, it was the intention that at that point we had already had 2 stars at Avenues. So we wanted to build, and we knew that we could build a better restaurant than what we were currently working in. So that was the ambition, was to
get to the top.
To go.
Yeah. Wow.
To see if we had what it took to get to the top.
So once you
of our industry.
Once you got there, like there must just be immense pressure that you're constantly having to meet. Like, how do you keep up the standards? How do you deal with that? Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, a lot of it is making sure we're properly training the staff. Like I said, I'm the face of the restaurant, but every single day they're the ones that are in there behind the stove cooking and doing all those things. My job is to create and make sure that everyone around me is staying true to what we believe in. And if we're doing what we did to get the stars, then we shouldn't be stressed out too much about losing them.
Yeah. For sure.
I think if the mindset is we have to be better today than we were yesterday,
right?
That's always been my mindset.
Yeah.
So just infecting the staff with that mentality is very important.
So it's like whether or not you get the stars, that's not the point of any of this, right?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, we have to be a successful business. I have a family. I am responsible for 45 employees. Yeah. They all have families. At the end of the day, it's a business too.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not just there to be this glamorous restaurant. We have to pay the bills and
and
make a living like everyone else.
Absolutely.
And that's also important as well. So the stars help, of course.
Yeah, they do.
Promote us into a category that where we want to be. But at the end of the day, we do have to pay those bills.
Yeah. You guys, just to jump into the history of Ever here. You guys were planning this out since when? What was like the first day you and Michael were like, let's do something?
Well, we had ambition to do number 2, number 3, number 4 restaurant when we operated Grace.
Right.
That was always the ambition, was to build a flagship restaurant and then go on and build other restaurants that we could, run as well. So Ever was always in the back of our mind. Was it going to be that ambitious? No, because we had Grace at the time.
Right.
And so once we closed Grace, then it was 100% focused on Ever.
Got it.
To then make it another ambitious restaurant and push forward, because we weren't finished doing what we wanted to do at Grace.
Got it.
If Grace were still around, what would Ever have been?
Good question. I don't know. It could have been just another second restaurant. It could have been an Italian restaurant. Could have been, Japanese focused. It could have been, you look around the restaurant where Grace is, and you would have to ask yourself, what is needed around here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do a neighborhood spot? Maybe it would be
something
casual that is less refined and more casual and is more of a neighborhood atmosphere.
Do you see yourself doing something casual?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, we're going to eventually do something that's on the casual side and something that somebody would go to 2 times a week, 3 times a week.
So because Royster is the casual version,
Right.
but for me, it's like when you're
Definitely not
when you're doing
casual.
3 Michelin stars, like I feel like the definition or your what casual means to you is a little bit different than
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
normal
love
funk.
that. Maybe you could define what casual would
Well, I
look
think
like
of
in
like,
Curtis
look,
Duffy's eyes.
If you're putting us in a category, let's just break it down into the Chicago Tribune star rating. So 4 stars is the highest, right? It's equivalent of like a 3 Michelin star restaurant. So if Ever's a 4-star restaurant, and let's say we want to do a 2 and 3 star restaurant, that's more of your casual everyday restaurant. We want to be the best in that category as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be the highest level we can do
Yeah.
to stay in there without
Being
pushing it into 4 stars, because then if you're no longer
A casual
casual.
restaurant.
I think Blackbird, right, was a great
Right.
example. When they were open, they had 3 stars from the Tribune for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I know Paul didn't want 4 stars, but they ended up getting them 4 stars.
Oh, man.
Which I don't think he ever wanted, because then it puts you in a different category. But he was the best at what he was doing at 3 stars.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mindset. It's
Interesting.
like, let's be the best at what we can be
Would
in
you
that
say
category.
Blackbird is casual?
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't say it was casual either, but there was a difference between 3 and 4 stars
Yeah.
for sure.
For
I see
sure.
it. I see where the thought is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I guess when I think of casual, I want to see Curtis Duffy cooking in like the Bristol kind of setting. That's where I want to go. I want to go somewhere where I'm like, this is like, I want to go there, once a week and just like crush like, 2 to 3 plates and just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have something like that. I won't be the man behind the stove, but
Yeah.
my dream is to hire a bunch of talented chefs and bring them up through the restaurant, and then be able to provide them a restaurant to cook in.
Right.
yeah.
And be the chef at.
Yeah.
So we have a handful of great talented chefs in the kitchen that I see them running restaurants, or could run a restaurant now.
Right.
Why not provide that for them?
Well, you guys have been a huge stepping stone for a lot of people in this industry and who have gone on to do great things. I mean, even the guy that connected us, Sue, who just opened up his restaurant, and they're pumping. I actually asked him to come out yesterday. We did a little pop up in Logan Square at Spilt Milk. Shout out to Tony and Spilt Milk crew over there for hosting us. He was just like, "We're fucking slammed tonight, man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it." I'm like, on a Monday. I'm like, "Good for you,
It's
man."
great problems to have.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But at the same time, I'm like, damn, you're working Mondays. I'm like, it sucks, dude.
Yeah. He'll get to a place where he can.
Yeah.
What was Sue like?
Growing
when
pains. Yeah, what was it like
I
working
lived
with
with Sue. If you
You
didn't,
didn't?
yeah.
I didn't know that. Sorry to hear
These
that.
guys are older.
Yeah. What was he like when because this definitely not. He's not from that world prior to Grace, right?
Correct.
So-
Yeah. No, anybody could be successful in our world as long as they're malleable and
Yeah.
allow us to change them in a way.
Absolutely.
And Sue was one of those guys that just came in there, was a yes chef guy. And that's all we need to be successful, is someone
Yeah.
that's going to say yes chef every day, show up and just do what's asked of them. And then hopefully they do even more. And Sue also did that as well.
Yeah.
So, he was a leading force in the kitchen, and people were always asking him for, how to do this, how to get this done.
Wow.
So he had a lot of great leadership qualities.
I wish he was like that at home.
Yeah, maybe he spent it all at work. But no, Sue was great. Sue was fantastic.
No, I remember though, just getting in was a very intense process. He's just like, man, chef is asking me for 2 years of my life. Like he's asking for all like dude,
Right.
if you have an opportunity to work at a place like Grace and you don't have to worry about, a family or anything like that, like fucking go, man. What are
Yeah,
you waiting for?
100%. I asked for 2 years from everyone because,
Oh, that's the thing. That's like what you tell them. No
Yeah.
matter what, 2 years. I love that.
I mean, do they stay true to that? No,
Right.
absolutely not. And I think like the best quality of a man is the man of their word.
Right.
Yes.
And if you can't do that, there's problems. So I asked them for 2 years for a few reasons. One is we're such a unique restaurant
Right. There's
that the learning curve is we do everything so different than a normal kitchen would do.
yeah.
The systems are just set up differently because we set them up in a way that makes us successful.
Interesting. Yeah.
We're not like a normal restaurant. So it takes a year just to understand those.
Yeah.
And then showing up to work every day is doing your job.
Right.
But to contribute to something,
Yeah.
that takes time, and
Yeah.
that takes longer than a year.
Yeah.
It takes longer than a year and a half. When you start contributing, now you're actually working.
Right.
Now you're doing something great.
Wow.
That's some
it's-
great advice for young chefs out there, because I feel like I mean, I might be speaking out of, but I just feel like there's a impatience with some of the
100%.
younger chefs out there now that they just want the reward right away.
They want the glory.
They want
right
the title.
away.
They're
And
we had when we first opened Ever, and we did this at Grace as well. I used to poke fun of this back in the day, because there were sous chefs around me, and I was just a young cook still coming up, but these sous chefs were managing me, and I was looking at them going, you can't even break down a fucking fish,
Yeah.
let alone a chicken.
yeah.
So I would always throw these at the young cooks at Grace, and now at Ever, is
Yeah.
let's see how many people can actually break down a chicken. You say you want to be a sous chef,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's
love it.
break down a chicken, because that's very basic stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't even do that, but you want to manage my team? No, sorry.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
What kind of advice would you give to young cooks out there aspiring to, cook at the level that you're cooking, and be a businessman as well as a chef?
Yeah, I think, dedicating 100% dedicating commitment to your craft, your art, whatever you want to call it, for a minimum of 10 years. You go to college, you study whatever you study. Hopefully it's business, and maybe not so much going into the culinary field side of it, but really get a business degree, something that's going to help you on the other side of it. Because learning in the restaurant is far surpasses something you're going to sit inside of a classroom and learn and talk about hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be as fulfilling and rewarding than working in a kitchen. And then dedicate a few years to a couple restaurants. Start to develop roots within your community and start to get your name out there. But most importantly is just dedication to what you do, and make sure that what you're doing, doesn't even have to be food and wine. It could be art, or it could be drawing. It could be anything, really. Music. Making sure that you're 100% passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it comes from within, because you have to be almost obsessed.
Oh,
You have to be obsessed in a
Right.
great way, not in a terrible way, but in
Right.
a great. You have to be an over obsession about like what you do. You have to wake up. Like I never
Thinking
wake up
about it.
thinking like, God, I got to go to work today. Like
Yeah.
Right.
maybe that's crossed my mind a few times, but I couldn't remember to tell you the last time I said, God, I got to work today.
Yeah. I love that you brought the business side of it, because, we were just talking about this yesterday, just young chefs these days with, great ideas, like every cook out there wants to do something, wants to create this dish, and then the follow through, right? I mean, we were talking about with the
Cost, do you know what the cost of
owner.
that
Can you
dish
cost
is?
the
you know?
dish out, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
There's so much more to, I think, what you and Andy do that I think young chefs don't understand about being a chef is not just coming up with and creating amazing dishes, but also the business side of it. And you got to have this acumen to run a restaurant.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, you're not just cooking anymore. And that's what I tell a lot of the young cooks who come out very ambitious, that want to be a sous chef or chef de cuisine right away. Look, the moment you start managing people is the moment you start stepping away from the kitchen, the things that you love to do, which is create and
Yeah.
work with food and touch food every day. But now you're all of a sudden managing 20, 30 employees, or doing a lot of paperwork and costing out things. If you're in a hotel, you're costing out recipes, you're costing out, from the moment it gets to the back door to the guest, how much does it cost?
Yeah.
And all the way around. Like, those are very important things.
Yeah.
Because we all know that those are the two things that will crush a
Yeah.
restaurant, which is labor and product costs.
So are you, do you have limits to what you allow yourself to put on your menu?
No, but I do know what my menu costs per person.
Okay.
So, and that's important, and it changes every day.
Yeah.
It changes every day. Just
The
because
cost
we're,
of the menu changes
well,
every
because
day?
the food cost is
no, the
constantly changing.
cost of the menu doesn't change from a guest perspective,
Yeah, yeah.
but what it costs us as a restaurant changes every day. Today we could get maitake mushrooms for $30 a pound. Tomorrow they could be 35, or next week they could be 25.
Yeah.
So it all fluctuates. It's important that if we have something that's on the higher end side of the cost for us, that not everything on the menu is all higher end.
Yeah.
That it needs to be balanced with something that's
Right.
on the lower end as well. That doesn't cost the restaurant that much.
Like vegetables, perhaps.
Well, I would love to say yes to the vegetable side, but I know that's not the case because some of the vegetables are more expensive than
Yeah. It's true.
than
It's
the
crazy.
actual other products.
Speaking on vegetables, what's your take on this new movement towards sustainability? And you see Daniel Hume and Alain Passard and these guys switching over to a all vegetable menu. What's like your take on it? And
Well, I think Danielle's far behind the curve on this one. Alain Passard's been doing it for years and years and years. Look at Charlie Trotter. He's been doing it since '87.
that's crazy. Yeah.
So the focus on vegetables, like everybody else, is just catching up.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of great chefs have had vegetable menus the entire time. I think Thomas does something that's focused on vegetables. At Grace, we had a whole vegetable menu as well, and that's been, 8-10 years ago. So that's not new to me. That's a PR stunt.
Oh,
But whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I think Daniel's an amazing chef. He's talented, of course,
Yeah.
talented chef and an amazing restaurant that he has. But that's not a new thing.
yeah. It's
Right.
I don't know.
There's so much. Like, I mean, when these guys, like when Alain Passard did it, there was a ton of shit that he got. Like these for
like it's so expensive. How can you charge this for vegetables?
Yeah.
But like you
I just saw
mentioned,
Daniel's
people-
post the other day. He was going, again, it's the internet. It's like, fuck all these people out there. But they were like, all these people shitting on his post on Instagram the other day. They're
For
like,
what?
they were just like, let me know when you got meat back on the menu. We'll come out to see. It's like,
Well, look, I mean, like I said, the price of vegetables are astronomical, not to mention the amount of labor it takes. Like, you can get a piece of beef, a ribeye, and it takes one person 15 minutes to break that down if you're good. Clean it, portion it, whatever. You get a case of carrots in, that's going to take you, or multiple people, many hours to clean and do what it needs to do to get it to the menu, to the serving point, where that beef is 15 minutes, boom, it's ready to serve.
right.
So factoring all that in, plus the cost of it,
it is very.
you do have to charge. I mean, we charge the same amount
Yeah.
for the vegetable menu as we did for the non-vegetable menu. We had to. The mushrooms alone were just as expensive as the beef.
Yeah. Like speaking on vegetables, I know you work with Farmer Lee Jones. You have for many years now. What is it that sets him apart from other farmers or the farmers that you do work with?
It's the attention to detail. It's the care in which they grow the vegetables. The amount of land that they have allotted for that is pretty phenomenal, which he can take a field and let it go fallow for a season. And
What is fallow?
What does that mean?
So fallow is basically planting crops such as rye or wheat, things that are not going to be used, or clover, things like that. They're not going to actually be used to yield anything other than just bringing nutrients
like the health
into
of the
the
soil.
soil.
Wow.
So he's able to do that, and then he could do that, twice before he replants into that soil.
That's insane.
So everything that goes back into that soil is so much better than just to continue to plant and plant and plant in that same soil every single year. And that's what a lot of farms do because they don't have the ability to, it costs, if that field is sitting empty, you're not making money. Obviously, it's an empty field.
Not to mention you're putting in time and work into
nothing.
Into nothing.
Absolutely. So,
well, not nothing, but 100%.
But you're not making anything off of that for the first 2 seasons or whatever.
yeah, at least the season that's going fallow.
Right.
So that's a great thing. The product is just amazing. You can call farmer and say, hey, I need, nasturtium leaves that are dime size, and I need 300 of them by Thursday.
Jeez.
And you'll have 300 perfect dime size nasturtium leaves. And the quality
Does
is.
he charge you more for that?
Of course he is. But,
How long have you guys been working together?
since '92.
When did you meet him? How did you meet him?
So I was working at a country club that was about 2 hours south of where his farm is in Ohio. And he would, at that time, he and his father would drive down product down to the restaurants in Columbus.
Okay.
So I would see him like every Wednesday or Thursday. He would come down to the city and drop off product, and just had a relationship with him from purchasing from him. And then we had been to the farm many times, and just had that great relationship. And every restaurant that I've been in, we've always purchased from him.
Wow.
So it's just been one of those long, deep relationships that are very important to me.
You ever come to has he come to your restaurants?
All the time, absolutely.
To eat?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was there for opening night.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's been back since. I think it's so important to have the farmers into the restaurant. They actually get to see where the final product is, and then they understand a lot more why we're so particular with certain things.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's like people. I feel like people just don't understand the amount of work that goes into harvesting, farming, packaging, bringing that to the restaurant. Like, there's so many steps involved before we even see this product, and it's just like all the stuff that's happening these days with the delivery apps and whatnot. I know you're probably not dealing with it, but for us,
Well, we are actually.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, with Reve Burger, we are for sure.
Oh, yeah, but so it's just, your food is ordered and then no one picks it up and then it's completed.
That's got to be like if you're ordering a Reve Burger from Ever and Curtis, you're like, this fucking burger better make it to my goddamn door. Like, what the fuck? Are you guys dealing with some of that?
Absolutely, we deal with that every day. People not picking up the burgers, or guys trying to pick up 2 orders at once, where it's like, oh, I have an order for 45 minutes from now. I'll take it now. I'm like, because it's going to sit in your shitty car for the next 45 minutes. And what does that say about my burger?
Yeah,
because you wanted to pick it up early. No, sorry, you're going to wait.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't.
Or
work.
it just doesn't make it to their house, or
or they enjoy their burger
it on the way there, and whatever they're doing.
Sorry.
Who knows what they're doing?
I've literally seen these guys take the food from our restaurant, go into their car, open it, and start eating it.
Yeah, that shit
Like
happens.
I was watching this whole thing. I'm like,
They did it. They did it right in front of our window.
That's
like
insane.
You couldn't even go and drive around the block and go do this. It's fucking wild.
We're like, what are you doing?
You
They're
enjoying
like,
that?
It was canceled. We're like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks. I guess.
Crazy shit.
Wow.
Jumping into Ever, so you guys were set to open your doors. What was the opening date of Ever?
I think we were in like late spring originally.
Of 2019.
2020. 2020, yeah.
Late spring was set to open.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, let's back up even before that. How is this now that you've this is now the second restaurant you've opened? Has it gotten easier for you guys, or was there less pressure this time? Aside from this global pandemic, like kind of pushing that off to the side, the whole opening of it. If you feel like you and Michael have gotten a lot better at this thing, and or did you guys feel like there were other obstacles and challenges that just present itself?
Well, unfortunately, we do have to talk about the pandemic because we were forced to open in pandemic, which obviously put a lot of curveballs into the play, where I think we wouldn't have had those issues to deal with.
Yeah.
If had this pandemic not happened. So I couldn't say it was easier. It was a lot harder than I remember it opening Grace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with employee issues, with just the face masks, and putting everything into play, the product, being able to get product, because the farmers and people stopped growing this stuff. Nobody was buying it, so why would I grow it?
Yeah.
It's just cost going out the window. Yeah. So it was hard to find ingredients and get ingredients. There was moments where we couldn't get onions. It was like a 3-week lead time for onions. Or just like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
So that was a struggle.
Yeah.
And, when our coolers would start, because we have very unique cooler system where it's on a remote system where the compressors and all the fans and everything are electronically outside, essentially. So all the noise of a refrigerator goes away.
Oh, interesting.
And the hood system is a green system where only it turns on when there's heat detected underneath. So the fan will adjust as more or less as the heat is sensed underneath. And with the coolers, when they would go out to get a technician out there to fix it, nobody was working.
Yeah, right.
It's just like, my God. Yeah. This opening was very, very tough for us.
Yeah, I can imagine the stress. I mean, because everything was looming during the build out, and you know, probably by January, February, you know, definitely by February, you guys had an idea. You're like, what the fuck? This is like,
this isn't going
do
away.
we push it back? Like, was there any even consideration at pushing back the date?
We did. We used that time. We pushed back to the July opening date, but at some point we're like, this is getting any better. It's just kind of plateauing. We need to open.
Yeah.
Because we had already hired all the staff and we had already started to train. We just said we have to do it.
Yeah.
So July, we said, let's go. We opened it. We picked a date in July. We focused on that date. We let everybody know we were opening, and a lot of people thought we were crazy. A lot of people thought that was such a brave and powerful statement to open up in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of indoor dining wasn't, right? I mean,
Yeah, that was I
July,
think when
everybody
we
was
just
doing
started.
patio.
25% was
Yeah.
allowed indoor dining in July.
Yeah.
So we said, let's go.
What was that like as an opening night to be like, you know, you dream of your opening night as this packed event and
And,
the goal is 25% packed.
25% was, for us, that was a full dining room because our tables are already,
true. Yeah.
we
Spread out.
only have 14 tables.
Wow.
So they're already 6 feet apart because that's the restaurants we build. You know, we want your experience to be your table, not your neighbor's table too.
Right.
So
That was intentional prior to.
that was intentional prior to, and we haven't changed it. You know, our entire design is the light system is designed to that table never moves. You don't move it and squeeze another table in.
Yeah.
That's the table's there for that reason. The lights are hung.
I love that.
What is
specifically.
what is your capacity per table?
Well, it could be anywhere from a single diner to 6 top,
Okay.
and then we have a private dining room that seats up to 12.
Oh.
Man.
So we do have one room that could close off or can close off, which we could do up to 24 people as a party.
Yeah.
So
Did you were your landlords more reasonable this time around during the pandemic versus your
Yeah.
time at Grace?
yeah, I mean, well, we had no problem with the landlord at Grace either.
Oh.
The landlord was fantastic at Grace.
Oh.
It was just our business partner was
That's
the,
okay.
the
That's
animal.
what it was. Do you mind touching on that at all?
I don't mind at
or-
all.
right.
Absolutely.
So what exactly what happened?
How did that fallout happen? Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't take much to figure out what was going on. You know, Michael and I were very hungry to have our own restaurant,
Yeah.
as young cooks and sommeliers would expect it to be. So we didn't involve a lawyer at the time, which was our foolish mistake because we wouldn't be in this position if we did. So fast forward, you know, it's just the restaurant's just cranking every night, doing numbers, and it doesn't take a genius to just plug some numbers into a computer.
Yeah.
And you know, we were already doing our internal numbers anyway, so we were seeing what was generated every night on a weekly, monthly basis, and we're like, all right, at some point, this thing's got to be paid off already.
Yeah.
The guy failed to show us P&L spreadsheets, and he
man.
wasn't keeping track of it either.
Yeah.
But we were internally, so we were watching all this money, like, just where's it at?
Yeah.
Where's all this money going? So
Man.
we decided, like, this is it's time to go.
Yeah.
This is not working. The guy's never going to change.
Yeah.
He's a complete animal, and
How did
he
you?
was like your director of operations kind of guy? Like that was his role in the partnership, or
his role was he owned the restaurant and
just investor.
investor, and he never played a part in the restaurant itself.
Right.
Never worked there a day.
How did you
I
guys?
would
connect?
rarely even see the guy.
Yeah.
He would just come by and pick up checks.
Jesus.
How did you guys connect?
We unfortunately met at the Peninsula Hotel.
Oh,
He came in to eat one night, and he asked if we have ever wanted to do a restaurant. And we said, yeah. And he's like, hey, what about cooking for my family at Thanksgiving? So I said, sure. So I went over there one year and cooked Thanksgiving and met his family. His family seemed very nice and very normal.
Yeah. Was his daughter in restaurant management
No.
before?
None of his family
So when
had ever been.
she got the GM position at was it Eugene? Eugen? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, barf gun. Something like that. Eugene? Yeah. No, it's,
Right.
yeah, of course. He's got to put somebody in family because he doesn't trust anybody, because why would he?
Yeah.
When you're stealing shit, why would you trust somebody
When you're
else?
a thief, yeah.
When you're a thief, everybody's got to be a thief,
Yeah,
right?
right.
That's the mentality.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
Yeah, that was how long was the run at Grace?
5 years.
God.
We did
damn.
5 years.
That was
you
fast.
guys, yeah, that was fast.
I remember the opening, and then all of a sudden you're talking about closing. We're like, what
Grand
the
opening, grand closing.
I actually, I won't forget that day. I remember reading about it.
Yeah.
It came as such a fucking surprise to me, and I was just like, "Fuck, another place." Like I just like I can't believe I won't be able to go. You know?
Yeah, we did. Look, Michael and I did everything we could to save this restaurant. I'm a guy that's going to do everything I can before I completely just let something go. Like I've got to try everything to save it if I believe in it 100%. And that was my baby. That was my everything. I had invested more than 5 years of just being there, but my entire life into that restaurant. And to have this guy just come in and just rip it up. He's like, zero fucks.
Yeah.
Zero.
Crazy,
He
man.
just didn't give a shit about
So
anything.
you guys
Three
wanted to
people,
make an
man.
offer on the restaurant.
We did multiple offers.
and then he just was just like,
he was not showing profits and loss. He wasn't showing tax returns. He wasn't showing, let's just say a lot of shady shit was going on on his side that he didn't want to get caught up in. So he just kept saying, no.
Wow.
It would have been easier for us to buy it had him done some legit stuff. But after some investigation, there's some crooked shit going on there. So.
damn,
And then he comes out in the media saying, I'm doing all the crooked stuff. But no.
damn.
But, that's his MO.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Eugene's same result. Same thing.
Chef left.
Same thing.
They closed
Why
the
did
doors.
she leave?
Yeah.
Same reason. Same shit.
Man,
That didn't end well. And this new project that he says he's going to embark on.
he's
there,
doing another one.
He says he is.
This guy's
I hope
resilient.
he does because it just burns money out of his pocket. I hope he does. I hope he it's another one and closes it.
Yeah, but once you're a piece of shit, right?
You're always a piece of shit.
Michael left before, right? I mean, I think the article I remember reading. So Michael was out. What happened that he was like, fuck this, and because you followed after, right? I mean,
Wow.
were you trying to salvage it? And
So a lot of people don't know this, but I left in September of that year. We didn't announce it to the media because if I had announced that I was no longer with Grace, it was at the time it was a tactful moment from the lawyer's suggestion.
Oh,
was for me to leave, to then bring him to the table, to then start some negotiating on purchasing this restaurant.
okay,
What failed on the whole situation was me leaving, not letting the media know. The restaurant kept going the way it was going, as if I was still there. So the other guy, this animal,
Funny you keep referring
we
to
we
him
we,
as a-
we want to.
well, my wife likes to call it animal con ropa, which means
What does that mean?
animal with clothes on.
Oh man,
And
love that.
my wife is Cuban, and she's fucking brilliant.
Love that.
Anyway, my point was I left, and the restaurant kept moving and making money as if I was there.
Crazy.
3 months go by, and
my
all the
God.
staff is like, "Where in the fuck is Duffy at? I haven't seen him. We haven't talked to him."
So no one knew.
Oh, no one knew.
A handful of people. My chef de cuisine, I had to keep in the loop. I was developing dishes with him.
Your CDC's
Where
like,
are you?
We were because normally I go
Who's
on
your
trips
CDC
and I
at
would
the
come
time?
back. Matt Denko.
okay.
So Matt and I would Skype over the phone or FaceTime over the phone as we were creating dishes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Showing
That's
him how I want something
insane.
plated, this way, no, move that. I trusted the way it tasted
Yeah.
because I just trusted, obviously, his cooking.
Yeah.
So fast forward, that didn't work. I was like, all right, we're coming to some terms of me purchasing the restaurant from this guy.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not going to, I think this was like in November, I was going to head back into the restaurant
Oh wow.
as just normal. Nobody knew I was gone.
You were
time.
making headway in this process.
So, well, it seemed like it.
Okay.
It seemed like it.
Jeez.
And we had an outside investor who put some money in escrow
Okay.
to purchase the restaurant. They were working on their terms, that never came to fruition. And here we are in November, and this thing is just starting to slowly spiral out of
man.
control again. And so we hire another set of lawyers, Michael and I, and we're actually in the lawyer's office that day. And Michael receives a phone call saying, I need you in the office. I need you here today.
Oh, wow.
From this animal. And
They're both named Michael, right? So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
so
that's why
so when you say Michael called you in the office, we're talking about Muser.
Muser, yeah.
Okay.
Muser's, he gets called in the office by this animal. And we all go there because we're literally at the lawyer's office. And so it's my two lawyers, Michael and I, head to the restaurant. This guy's there. And that's when he fires Michael.
Oh shit!
So then he tries to implement all these other people into the picture, this animal guy does. And we're like, this isn't happening. My GM and I are looking at each other going, this is not working. Like, this will never go down. So, you know, we gave it a few more weeks to kind of see where things were going. Everybody knew Michael wasn't there. Now I'm back in the picture. All the staff are like, what in the fuck is going on around here? Because, you know, we can't really tell anybody what's going on. So we were already engaged in an event in California with the Michelin group. Of course, I couldn't say anything to the Michelin group that we can't go because, you know, here we are, the restaurant might close. And so I remember waking up that morning and calling Michael Ellis, which was the director of Michelin Guide North America at the time. And I called him on his cell phone. I said, Michael, I want to let you personally know before we go live with the news.
Oh shit!
Grace is going to close. I'm leaving. And he was just like devastated. He gave us the best wishes he could give us.
Is that one of the hardest things you ever had to do?
That was one of the hardest things. I had to let him know that we were closing. And then, but at the time, the New York Times already had the piece that was going to go live if this guy didn't come back. He had 3 days to come back to our request from the lawyers. He chose to not come back at all, didn't even reply to the email. And New York Times dropped it on Monday morning. Said, we're done. 2 days later, a day later, the restaurant closed. Didn't even reopen. Man. So that's what had happened had I left and let the media know prior to that. See, that's now you see what happens.
Yeah.
And now he's like, now he has nothing. Yeah. So now the restaurant's closed and we're not working either. So.
So like, I know it was very, you know, heartbreaking to lose your first, but how soon after did you go back to work? Did you take some time off? Did you relax, spend time with the family?
What was the best decision and the worst decision? No, it was the best decision in hindsight now. Like, it was the best decision I could have made. Back then, it was like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I had to do it. And I had a 1.5-year non-compete for 25 miles outside of, which puts me where? No one's going to drive 25 miles.
Naperville.
Buffalo Grove,
Naperville. I don't even think Naperville was still out of question.
Still like 20
I had to go to Rockford or something like that. So, I took some time off, but my non-compete started when I left the first time.
Oh, okay.
So I only had like 13 months left. So I was like, whatever, I'll take a year off.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was able to spend a lot of time with my family.
Yeah.
My daughters, I got married, so I was, you know, taking on 2 more children. So I had, you know, four children.
Wow.
My wife, and I just embraced life. Michael and I focused on building this restaurant and getting things in line. So when we could hit the green light and push the go button, we were ready to go.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just a year off of work it was much needed at the time.
I bet.
It was a great thing. It was a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, I just trying to imagine, you know, both of us, you know, running and operating this restaurant, but like for you to wear all these hats, not only in your business, but as a husband and as a father to 4 children, you know, what is it that you do? What are the practices that you do to kind of balance all of that in your life?
Currently?
Yeah. I mean, you said Sundays is a good day.
Sundays and Mondays are our closed dark days. Sundays are 100%. If I'm in town, I'm spending them with my daughters. And if my wife's in town, because we live between here and Miami.
Oh, wow.
And she spends the majority of her time in Miami, although this last year that we've been open, or as our first year under opening ever, she spent the majority of her time up here.
Okay.
And I haven't been back much, but now that we're starting to balance some things out and travel's becoming a little bit easier, I'm going to start doing what I was doing before, which was maybe every other weekend I would head down there.
Oh, interesting.
Spend a couple days down there on my days off and come back here on Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, so your family is, so you're here by yourself.
Yeah. Well, I have my 2 daughters here as well. So
Miami, huh? Why just she's like I'm not leaving.
no, she's born and raised. She has 2 children, as you know, they're
In school.
11 and 8.
Okay.
So they're still in school. They have a great father there. So why uproot their life there for this one and vice versa? Like, you know, we had been doing this for so many years. It works for us.
Yeah.
You know, she's able to work remotely. She can work in Miami or Chicago, wherever we travel to. And it just works for us.
Yeah.
Do you like Miami?
I love Miami.
You can hear how I ask that
as soon as I
question.
can.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it that you like about that city? Because there's so
It's
much
got
I
such a
don't understand.
Great energy, you know. And for me, like I love the weather.
Okay, fair enough.
And I love the weather. When my daughters are old enough and are in college, I'm
leaving.
I'm leaving Chicago. I mean, eventually I'm going to leave and move there because I just love that lifestyle.
So we only have a
Guys,
few more
get
years.
get your fucking reservations in now.
Not saying they're closing the restaurants because
Right,
by then
right.
we'll have multiple restaurants here.
No.
I'm just going to operate from. The roles are going to be reversed. I'll be up here a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
And down there.
Well, you let us know when you're opening up your Cubano shop, man. I mean, me and Andy will be the first.
Right.
We'll be the first there. So
Yeah.
you like so is it the food, the culture? I mean, you just said the energy. Like, do you like what are some places you like to eat down there? Because me and Andy went down there and.
You know, we don't really go out that much down there.
Okay.
It's the family life that I'm enjoying down there. It's being able to cook at home. It's being able to just go out in the backyard and jump in the pool, or light the grill and just barbecue for hours. And have friends over and.
Are you cooking a lot at home, or is your wife cooking?
Well, a little bit of both. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I'm here, she does all the cooking when she's here.
Oh, really?
Just because.
Time.
My time
Is she
is
a good cook?
spent. She is. She's a great cook.
What's her dish that you're just like, that's the one? Like, I love that. I love when she cooks this for me.
Anything that she does with chicken.
Oh,
she
really?
marinates it in lime juice and breads it and fries it. It's amazing. I mean, for me, it's not even about the food. It's just the actual love that she puts into it.
Yeah.
That somebody's actually cooking for me instead of
yeah.
me cooking for them. And I've always enjoyed that. I don't care if it's a piece of burnt toast.
Right.
If I'm like, you put the thought into it, you put the effort into it.
Yeah.
I can enjoy it.
My Korean moms, my mom always says there's a secret ingredient into every dish she cooks for me. And it's called ommason, which means mom's hand, which is the love of in the food.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Yeah, and her mom is a phenomenal cook. Like,
Oh, yeah?
Her mom's food is so satisfying to me.
We had a
We've had some good food down there. I don't know why I'm forgetting about like that
Yeah,
that
the
Cuban
Cuban sandwich,
restaurant.
yeah.
No, not the Cubano, but remember that restaurant?
Oh yeah, Versailles.
Versailles.
Oh,
Have you heard?
Versailles, I have been there, yeah.
Jeez, that place. Like, first of all, I think it's like fucking 400 seats in
it's
there.
an institution, man. This
Also,
thing
there's like 500 menu items.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The
Like-
service there, they're just like, don't waste my fucking time. I'm here. Give me the order. I'm gonna get you your food. I'm gonna give you the check. Get the fuck out. It's great though.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
loved it.
good.
And it was freezing cold inside. The air
was,
conditioning
and
was
I
great.
love that. I love that. It's a little too hot for me down there. I just can't stand the infrastructure. I guess. I'm just maybe I'm like whatever. I like cars. I like good roads. And Miami, like, okay, you don't pay state income tax, and your fucking roads show for it. It's like it looks like it's built in the 70s and it hasn't changed since. They haven't like paved the new fucking cement on those highways.
Yeah, a lot of new like hotels and shit coming up though.
Yeah.
Last time we went down, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are going down to Miami.
Yeah.
They're smart.
We went to Goat, the new Korean barbecue restaurant down there. Simon Kim just opened up he has a Michelin star Korean barbecue restaurant in New York City in the Flatiron District, and he just opened up in Miami. So we went down there to check out the opening of it. It was fucking, place was
Phenomenal.
bumping.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Goat. C-O-T-E.
Got it. Okay.
Goat, I
Goat.
think most people say, which means flour. And
In Korean.
in Korean, and we call a certain short rib cut called goat kalbi. So kalbi being short rib, and goat being flour because of how marbled it is.
Beautiful.
so-
Beautiful.
It's a great name. I wish we.
What do?
What part of Miami?
It's in the design district.
Okay,
So
sure,
it's
I'll check it out.
like
Can't miss it. It's
for a guy like me, I'm
big
just
pink
like
neon.
Prado is like the cheapest store you can go to in that area, and I'm just like, holy fuck. There's like brands I don't even know in there, so that's how you know how rich it is.
Yeah.
You cook a lot for your daughters? Is there something that they're always like, want this. Like,
they're
keep it
so
simple?
simple still.
Yeah?
They're so, I mean, peanut butter and jelly,
Like
grilled
Greek
cheese.
gastric.
Okay.
No gastrics. Yeah, I got smoked paprika gastric. They ask me for all the time. So no,
That's so good.
no, they don't. They don't ask me for much because they're just so simple.
Yeah.
like
Well,
rice.
Do you have particular, like, is there a specific bread you use, a specific brand of peanut butter and jelly? You're always like Smucker's, Jif.
No, they like Jiffy Smooth,
Okay.
and they like Brownberry, the multi-wheat bread.
Oh, okay.
That's their go-to. They've been eating it since children,
Yeah.
or since they were super small. So
Man, I've always
We don't
been a
change
butternut guy growing up here. Maybe it's a Midwest thing, but I love it.
Butternut?
Yeah, it's like that.
I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't know.
butternut.
you don't like Wonder Bread?
I think Wonder Bread's like a East Coast thing, right? I could be
don't know.
wrong. I
Might be
don't
the
know.
worst bread of all time too.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bread, used to dabble in pastries.
Yep.
I would say, I can follow a recipe and I can whatever, but how important do you think it is for, a chef to have that in their repertoire?
I thought it was very important as a young cook, thinking that it is going to make me a more well-rounded chef, and absolutely it did.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important that you understand some of it, especially if you want to own your own restaurant or even operate, say a hotel as an exec chef. I think it's important to understand if you have a pastry chef, you can communicate with them on a certain level where you understand a lot of things.
And you can contribute.
To it. If you didn't know anything about pastries and you were trying to articulate, a certain thing or what you want on the menu, I think you struggle a little bit more than,
That's true.
you're able to at least critique, say, you know what, the anglaise I thought was too thick, or it was overcooked. It was this, it was that. I think as someone who didn't understand pastries a little bit wouldn't be able to tell that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's
'Cause
important.
You got pretty deep into it, right? You were a pastry chef for Grand Achatz.
Yeah, we did some pastries at Trio. I mean, I studied pastries at every restaurant. Ironically, it was some reason I got stuck doing pastries a lot in some of these restaurants I worked for, which was okay. And I even started at Charlie Trotter's in the pastry department.
Oh, really?
Spent like 7 months there in the pastry department. So, look, I loved it. I still enjoy working pastries. So when I moved to Trio with Grant, I ended up becoming the pastry chef there. And yeah, garnered a few awards through Food and Wine Magazine and things like that. But then I started to get a little bit scared that I would be known as a pastry chef and not as a chef.
So, were you, when you were doing or working as a pastry chef, were you still doing a lot of savory cooking?
No.
So
I mean, I was on my own personal level,
Yeah.
but not so much in the kitchen.
Is that like an inroad to get into a restaurant like that, like a high caliber restaurant? Is it more like, it's like in my world, say everyone wants to be the lead guitarist or the singer or something like that. And you're like, can you sneak in and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna dunk on these pastries, and then you.
No, it was just.
Different?
I think it was just something that I could do, and he was looking for somebody, and I said, certainly I could do it. I mean, I actually started the pastry department at Trio under another pastry chef. She was leaving, and Grant's like, well, we don't have a pastry chef. I'm like, well, I've done pastries before. I could certainly do things,
Okay, so it's like playing bass.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
playing bass. Well, I do play guitar, but I could play with 2 less strings.
I could play bass
All right,
too.
that's the future of every bass player.
Right.
Do you play any music?
No, I attempted the drums when I was a younger chef and just couldn't dedicate the time to it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because my dad was a great drummer, and I've always envied that. But I bought a bass guitar about 4 years ago, thinking I love the bass guitar. Like I do love an amazing bass player. But again, if I can't commit to it, it's really hard to pick it up every so often and pretend I'm going to play bass, because I'm going to get frustrated and not enjoy it. So I haven't attempted that yet.
I have a guitar sitting on my bedroom floor. It's been about 6 months now.
Right?
I've opened it once.
2020, I bought a tailor, and I got my fingers just calloused enough from practicing, and then work
Never
began.
again.
And then I was like, okay, there it is. It's gone.
Work is interrupting your personal life. I know.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That was everyone in 2020. I'm putting out an EP finally.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote my
Thomas,
first
this
book.
is my year.
Like Dr. Dre, man. Been waiting for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you have so I know like Thomas and I, we try to, we talk about like routines that we try and keep up with every day, just to keep our sanity. Journaling is one of them. As often as we can, we take ice cold showers. Meditation, yoga, these things. Do you have these daily practices or anything that keeps you centered? Or?
Yeah, martial arts is a big
Really?
thing for me.
No shit.
What specifically?
Shidokan.
Shidokan.
Shidokan is a
think I've
study
heard
of 4 different martial arts.
Oh shit.
And I've actually gotten away from it for a while, but starting to get back into it again. It's been, I traveled a lot in April, and it's just with the restaurant reopening, and look, I could have a million excuses, and I hate giving excuses, but the restaurant took priority over a lot of things in my life opening up. But now that things are starting to balance themselves out, I'm going to start obviously getting back into it. And
What are the 4 martial arts?
so
in Shidokan?
boxing, karate, Muay Thai, and kickboxing.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Sorry, grappling.
I was gonna say, what isn't Muay Thai
Jiu-jitsu.
kickboxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu.
Very cool. And do you follow the sport at all, like on TV?
I used
UFC?
to. I used to follow the UFC quite a bit, but
Yeah.
I just no.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's too hard.
it really is. It changes so much.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah. I used to be a huge sports guy, and it's just, I don't know. Some of my friends that work office jobs, they're like, they know, oh man, they just drafted this guy out of, I'm just like, what the fuck?
how do they keep up with all that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't.
Were you ever into sports? Did you play sports?
I played baseball. I wrestled when I was younger. I played baseball through high school and then never played in college. But
Sox fan, Cubs fan? It's a good time to be a Sox fan.
that's what I hear. But I don't know. I don't really follow sports at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if somebody says, you're a Cubs fan, right? I'm like, yeah. You're a Sox fan, right? Yeah.
Good political answer.
Yeah,
right
sure.
there.
That's me in the elevator. Oh, you got to the game? What sport?
Yeah. Exactly.
What's a day off look like for you?
Wow. Day off is
Doesn't exist.
no, it does. It does exist. I know. I enjoyed a day off yesterday. I met up with one of my buddies. I like to go to the gun range. I'm a big gun person, so I like to shoot and collect, and I
Yeah.
do that. That's also like a martial art for me. It's,
yeah.
it's a form
Oh,
of
yeah.
it's a form of combat.
You go Claytus shooting at all, or
I have done that before. That's a lot of fun too.
it's the best.
It's so fun.
when you do the
Clay
course, like you're on the golf cart, and you go out there, four of you guys. It's just there's always something heavy, and it's when you add the pressure of it's already a lot of fucking pressure to hit this disc. Like you got
Shoot,
two
it
discs,
flies it dies.
But when you're like, hey man, you got to beat me on these next 2 fucking, like, it's a tremendous amount of pressure. It's a lot of fun though.
We went down to Blackberry Farms in, I think it's in North Carolina. I always get the Carolinas mixed up. But it was a business trip, and my wife went down there with me. So it was Michael, myself, one of my cooks, and me.
Yeah.
Michael, my wife. Yeah. And we did the skeet shooting.
Yeah.
Clay shooting, and she kicked all of our asses.
No way.
Pretty awesome.
That's what's so cool
That's
about
scary.
skates is that if you just like, there's beginner's luck. It's just point at it. There's no,
Right.
like,
Yeah, a
"I'm
lot of it
lined
also
up."
is
Well, yeah, some
with
people
a guy is like it's also like fighting, right? Girls are savages in the ring because there's zero ego. They're in there to do business. That's it. I think also with gun shooting is like guys are so we're so ego driven
Yeah.
that girls take all that equation out of it and just fucking shoot it. And
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
she smoked all of us. Yeah. It was awesome.
That is so cool. Who was the worst?
The guy who says I shoot guns I go hunting every day.
Who was
One
that?
of my cooks.
Oh,
Shout out to Dave Connell.
oh
Why don't you
man.
ever bring any game to the restaurant?
Right? Oh, I ate it all this weekend. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
You it sounds like from a couple of stories you told today, you like to bring out your cooks a lot, and you would like to, bring them into your world a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's
outside of
important. I learned that from Charlie Trotter a lot, actually, because he would do a lot of events that you would travel to, and you would go and do these events. And I always thought, like, you know, the restaurant industry is relentless. It works you to death. It pays you very little.
Yeah.
But there's great opportunities if you can travel
Yeah.
and see the world. And part of my world is traveling.
Yeah.
Seeing other parts of the world, doing outside events, doing charity events, doing whatever it might be, cooking, not competitions, but collaborations with other chefs. So it's always important that I take a handful of my cooks with me because, look, I can't pay you a tremendous amount, but I can give you life experiences through travel and seeing other parts of the world and experiencing their culture and their day-to-day life and seeing other parts, actually the kitchens, and the appreciation that we get back from that is phenomenal because they go to other parts of the world and work in those kitchens and realize that, fuck, what I have here is everything is at my fingertips.
Right.
I have everything I need here.
Yeah.
Other parts of the country or world, you're looking for delis. You're looking for a 9-pan to put something in. You're looking for a round mixing bowl. And you have everything at your fingertips. So the appreciation is...
Yeah. So you're showing them, like, the grass ain't greener, boy.
Exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah, we were just talking about that actually. So it's so cool that you brought that up. We were just met with Joe Froman and Chris Pendel, and you know Chris was Andy's mentor and chef for a long time, and I think that being able to offer that to your teammates it's a tremendous experience for them. And we were just talking about that how much it meant to me to travel with my company and open a restaurant and see other parts on their on the company's dime and
For sure.
it means a lot. It's a little bit of there's a lot of appreciation there.
Because as a young cook, it can get redundant, right? Or like just the routine is the same every day.
Very mundane for sure.
Yeah, and to throw these curveballs in there, it's just like even like local events when. I don't get to, you hear about all these chefs, right? Like the Lee Wolins and whoever. And then to actually get to see them work and see them talk shit to each other. And, it's like, it's the camaraderie that they have and with their generation. And it's just a part of like an insight to this world that, I never thought I would get to see, And,
right.
Yeah, so for chefs
You
to do that.
you take any shots at some of your old guys from the line back in the day, like you worked with like Graham on the line and a bunch of these guys from Trotters. You still keep in touch with a lot of these guys?
Absolutely. Matt Murgis, Giuseppe Tentori, Dave Lefevre, Elliot.
Oh wow.
One of my first cooks that I hired at Avenue, his name's Dan Bark. Dan was a disaster. So. That's a great story because when I took on the position at Avenues, the hotel wanted me to absorb some of the cooks to show that the Peninsula, you could grow within the company. That was their pitch to me. Well, for me, I've never worked in a hotel. I wasn't having any of that shit because I knew the mentality of a hotel cook versus a freestanding restaurant cook. The different mentality, the drive is much different.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to hire anybody from internal. I'm hiring all my chefs from outside, people that I know, people I've worked with possibly in the past, and we're going to do great things. Well, I ended up absorbing one cook. His name was Dan Bark. He worked in the lobby restaurant. So I gave him one dish, the first dish I wanted him to do, and it was a caviar dish. And story goes on, it was a champagne jelly that was set inside of a half sphere mold that once it was set and hardened, he would have to go back in with a Parisian scoop and scoop it out to then create a hollow shell where the caviar would go into.
Yeah.
He couldn't scoop it out. And it was disaster. I was just like losing my mind. But for some reason, a few days later, it just clicked with him.
Oh, shit.
He ended up becoming one of my best chefs.
Oh, my God.
That I've ever worked with.
Awesome.
He moved on to Bangkok. He has 2 Michelin stars.
Oh, wow.
In 2 different restaurants.
Jesus.
So he's
That's
doing an
amazing.
amazing job over there. He married one of my hostesses. who is Thai as well, and so they all moved back to Bangkok. So
that scoop changed his life, chef.
Yeah,
I hope so. I mean, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So
that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm super proud of that kid.
Favorite fast food?
Oh, I already know. So you've said, I've heard you on a different pod, and you're a Taco Bell guy.
Well, no.
Oh,
Well, yes and no. Here's the thing, right?
this interview's over.
Actually, if I had to pick fast food, yeah, it would be Taco Bell.
Okay. Whew.
I'm gonna only say that because of my wife.
Oh.
Because I didn't really eat a lot of fast food at all.
Oh, really?
And I had stopped eating fast food years ago because it was just
Not good.
just not good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until
They'll kill ya.
until my wife, she's like, "You're gonna eat Taco Bell." I'm like, "No, we're not."
I love that.
And one night we did get Taco Bell, and I'm like, "That's not so." Because I remember it. I swear I haven't had it since high school,
That's crazy.
or maybe even probably college,
This
here and
guy
there.
lives and dies by Taco Bell.
And my business partner does too. Michael's like, he'll tell you his entire order, like verbatim.
It's a general manager thing.
It's a front of house thing. It's
But I do. It's
an open till 4
I enjoy
a.m.
Taco Bell just as much as anybody else. If I'm gonna eat fast food, it'll be Taco Bell.
Oh, really?
What is the ultimate Taco Bell meal for you? Like,
So simple again. So it's like bean burrito, no onions,
okay.
Really?
and chicken quesadilla.
Wow.
But my wife makes something. I don't even think it has a name.
She asked them for it.
She makes something else. Yeah, I don't even know. It's like I don't know what it
Secret
is.
menu.
It
Oh.
must be because I don't think it's actually labeled on the menu.
I need to find out what this is because
It's
I'm
a
like
shredded chicken with some sauce and sour cream and cheese.
Shredded chicken.
But it's like it's in a small little tortilla.
Yeah. No, it's they have
is awesome.
so they have this like dollar menu on
Maybe
the
that's
side,
where it
and it's
is.
like a chicken chipotle. It's almost like a like a soft taco, but without all the fixins in it. You know, like so soft taco wrap. With like,
Maybe that's it. I
but
don't
with
know.
like shredded chicken. No, she's onto something. I got to figure out what
She
this.
always puts the order in on her app or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Surprised
I
they
never
actually
know
get
what
it
it's
right.
called.
hand sanitizer. Anybody?
Sure.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
So thoughtful. Jeez. And clean.
No, they're sterile and greasy.
Just smearing the grease around.
Awesome. So, perfect little opportunity, guy. We're gonna jump into a little quick fire round of some questions, and I will state for the record, we've had some guests on that found this game to be extremely challenging. The idea of it is that you think of the first thing that comes to mind, I guess, right? So it's the idea is answer as quick as possible, and we'll go from there. Are you ready, sir?
Sure.
All right. What's the first thing you grab at in the morning?
Banana.
Do you have bananas by your bed?
He's going for it, folks.
I love it. Hey, listen, no,
in
don't
bed?
knock
No,
the guy.
not in bed.
What do you think people notice most about you?
Smile. I don't know.
I love that's always
No
a hard
idea.
one. Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Biggest pet peeve?
Dirty hand sink.
Ooh. Is it okay to sleep with socks on?
No.
Ask for permission or ask for forgiveness?
Permission with the wife, forgiveness for everyone else.
So
Good answer. Favorite day of the week?
Sunday.
Childhood nickname?
Bones.
Oh, I like that, man. Would you rather know every language in the world or have the ability to speak to animals?
Animals.
1 to 10, how good of a writer are you?
-5.
Wow. What's one item you always have in your fridge or freezer?
Jesus Christ. Water. Good soy sauce.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Ooh. Let's dive into some pizza talk. I feel like it's always common. Superpower. What would it be?
Flying.
All right.
Is that a superpower?
No
yes,
hesitation.
flying for sure.
Wow, I'd
It's
love
always
to- I'd
flying
love
or
to have a bird's eye
teleportation.
view over the world.
No, because
Be
Tom
amazing.
always says they're gonna pick flying or teleporting.
It's always those two. Except Tim
Teleporting.
Flores from Kasama.
Yeah.
He said he would want to heal everyone in the world. Have the ability to heal. And we said that was very thoughtful of him.
He's a Filipino.
perfect.
But like
Answers.
from the sky though, or
But we said he wouldn't be able to heal himself. So
That's the only stipulation.
We're like, you can't do that. And that's it.
Did I pass?
Awesome. You passed, man, with flying colors. That was honestly, Chef, that was the best that you than any other guest. Well, actually, Dolinsky was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was on it.
Why bones?
Yeah.
Bones, yeah, I was super skinny as a child.
Oh. Okay.
I couldn't gain weight at all.
Really?
Didn't matter what I would eat. Never
Yeah.
could.
That was like
gain weight.
coach. Coach started that, or
No, my brother and my father.
oh no shit.
They used to pick on me for that shit.
Got it.
'Cause my
Pete-
brother was all muscular and short and stocky, and I was this tall, lanky,
Oh,
skinny
okay.
kid.
Yeah. Is he still?
No, he's just short and fat.
Pizza. What do you like pizza in town?
Pequod's is my go-to. I like. What else would I eat?
I like that.
Pizza.
Pequod's has gotten a
Pequod's.
lot of haters.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people
Yeah.
that didn't like
But
it.
I like
I like the
Pequod's,
thin
man.
crust though. I don't care for the deep dish.
Oh,
pizza.
interesting.
Oh, they're
No,
part-
I'm not a deep dish pizza guy.
Yeah.
Thin crust. Vito and Nick's, obviously. Have you had it?
I don't think I've had that.
Oh.
Ooh.
No.
It's like one of those staple ones here in Chicago. Maybe give it a try. Like staff meal it or something.
Okay. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Any other spots in town you like? You like enjoy? Any new restaurants you've been to? I know you got a super busy schedule, but does Curtis Duffy eat?
I love Taparo's, which is a Thai restaurant on Clark and North Avenue.
Clark and North.
I've been going there for 22 years.
Taparo's. You said?
Taparo's, yeah.
Okay. You like that? It's spicy. Is it like Thai spicy?
It's
or is
not
it spicy?
crazy. They do obviously they have a secret menu, of
Yeah.
course. Tic Tac is another Thai restaurant that has a secret menu that so you can get like the non-American version where it's not so sweet and it's a little more on
Yeah.
the spicy side, which I enjoy.
Is this all like northern Thai cuisine or southern Thai cuisine?
They kind of
It's interchanged, yeah.
It's all over the place.
Do you like what's the one that I always talk about? Sticky rice. Have you tried that? It's on Western and
think-
Irving Park.
Yeah, I've been on the corner there.
Yeah.
I have been there. Yeah,
Place is good. It's really good.
been a while since I've been there because
That's all northern Thai cuisine there. I think they have like the pad see ew and pad thais and shit just to like
sure
tease to the
make people they're so familiar with I have the pad thai.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a Thai lady work for us recently.
Yeah.
She actually
Ploy.
got deported back to Thailand.
Oh shit.
I know, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
That was terrible.
But she told me pad Thai is actually just pad. there's no Thai.
Oh, there's no Thai.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but they just like somehow coming to the States it became
Because
pad
it's Thai food, they
yeah.
added fucking Thai.
Yeah.
That's
I'm like, because I was like, do you like pad Thai? She's like, what? And then I was like showing her a picture. She's like, oh, pad Thai? No.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've always said that I was going to hire just an old Thai or Vietnamese
Yes.
Yeah.
mom just to employ a staff
Yeah.
meal every day for us.
oh,
Yeah.
that would be so cool.
That's your go-to. That's like your when you want like
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite Thai dishes?
I like the chicken larb quite a bit.
Chicken lob.
Yep.
it's like the ground. It's like ground meat, right?
Ground meat.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Spicy, right?
A lot of spice and a lot of lime juice. And
Yeah.
of course, I love the tom kha kai soup.
Oh, what is
It's
that different
It's a
from?
coconut. It's a
Okay.
coconut,
Okay.
coconut soup. One of my favorites.
Yes.
Taparo's also has a really great fried chicken.
Okay.
It has a lot of spices on the outside. That's just
Yeah. Are
You-
they boneless? Bone in?
they're bone in. Yeah.
Oh.
I like that. Awesome. Yeah, you like the heat then.
I like. I don't like heat that lingers for a long time.
Okay.
That you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
I know some Mexican
Yeah.
chilies that'll just light you on fire, and
Is there a lot of heat on your menu right now?
no, zero actually.
Oh, really?
No. I mean, I have a little togarashi and a crab dish, but
Mm-hmm.
that's about as spicy as I'll get.
How often do you guys changing things up over at the restaurant? Do you guys doing like kind of like seasonal menu changes?
Yeah, I try to think of the season as 52 weeks out of the year as opposed to quarterly,
Oh, interesting.
because things go out of the season so quickly, and things aren't available, especially now that you get 3 weeks out of white asparagus and then you can't get it
Yeah.
after that. So you have to think about that ahead of time. So
Yeah.
we're constantly thinking about the new stuff, what's coming in, what's, a lot of it is communicating with our farmers.
Yeah.
Seeing what they're pulling
Bringing
from the
in.
ground or what they're able to harvest for us.
Why ever? I gotta ask. Like, what's the word mean to you and Michael, and how did that come about, and how does that kind of get instilled into the staff?
So Ever was meant to be, it's all of myself and Michael's best ever experiences. This is the best concert that I've ever been to. That was a really cool piece of china that I've ever seen. It's always that word just kept coming up in conversation.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be the best experience that the guests would walk away and say, man, that was my best dining experience I've ever had.
I love that.
So that name kind of stuck with us.
How long did it take for you guys to nail down the name?
Quite a while, because we had a lot of different names and a lot of different meetings. But at the time, I remember, now looking back on it, at the time, there were a lot of negative poking at our last project's name.
Okay,
so
what do you mean?
It would be like, what were some of the names? It was just the meaning behind them kind of didn't fit. Like, it looked like we were suffering.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. I mean, think of some of the examples. I wish Michael was here because he'd be like, "Oh, we were going to name it this, this, and this."
Okay, but it was all alluding to like what happened, or
a lot of it was like that.
Yeah.
Because for me, Grace was like the perfect name. Grace was everything.
By the way,
it embodied everything that we believed in, what we did. So we were still on that hunt to try to find another name that was like that.
Yeah.
And
that was one of the best names.
It was just, it was.
Yeah, it must have been hard.
Are you not allowed, or is there any legal reasons why you couldn't just bring Grace to where you are now?
We could have. We walked down that path too. But we at some point, you're just got to say, I got to let it all go.
Yeah.
And
look forward.
That's what I did. It's part of the healing process. You just got to let it go and
what was
deal with that, and then just move forward.
What was the name you threw into the hat? Was there one that you were like, because me and Andy, we went through the whole naming process, and
it's like naming a child.
People have no idea how hard it is to come up with a name
really
for your
is.
business.
Yeah.
It's a terribly stressful experience.
Yeah.
But was there one that you were like, come on, guys, this is the one. This is good. Is there?
Well, we went with Hummingbird for a long period of time.
Oh.
And then we started realizing like there's a lot of bird names out there. Blackbird.
Yeah.
Hummingbird,
Lazy bird.
Nah, that's not it. But the meaning behind what a hummingbird meant at the time kind of fit.
And what was that exactly?
I couldn't tell you what it meant now because right now it doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh,
You know what I mean? At the time it meant something.
I love that. Yeah.
And I got the meaning from the card company.
Tops?
Papyrus?
Yeah. They have their hummingbird as a logo. Their logo is a hummingbird.
Sports cards. I'm like,
Their hummingbird.
deck?
their logo is a hummingbird. So
you're right.
I bought a card probably for my wife at the time, and it said the meaning behind a hummingbird. And I'm like, that kind of fits.
Yeah, what you guys
what
were
we're
working
trying
on.
to embody.
I'm super intrigued. I'm gonna look this up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oxalis was one of them. That was one of my favorite herbs
Chuck?
back.
Want to tell us what a hummingbird means?
You know what this is about?
No.
Oh,
Did I look like I
like
knew?
Chuck's
I
like
don't know.
I just saw a special on it last
I was still
night.
trying to think of like negative Grace names. That's what I was pondering over here.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Like, it didn't have like a negative like connotation, but the thought behind it was, you know, and I respect that a lot because there's no reason to like remind yourself me and Andy talk about the name of our restaurant and how the significance of and the weight of its name and the meaning.
Yeah.
And
I love you guys' name.
Yeah,
When I came
thank
in,
you.
I was like, I have no idea what Perla is, and you're like, it's this leaf. We
Well,
grow
first-
it. It's on it. It's like, oh.
most people, first of all, they think it's perilla, is what they first think. But yeah, like the name has a significance of weight and meaning to it, and to have to go into your business and to think about that name and then draw back to that past.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that
it
was the
didn't
move.
work. It didn't work.
Awesome.
You know,
I have Googled hummingbirds. They symbolize joy, healing, good luck, messages from spirits and other special qualities.
Wow. What are the other special qualities, Chuck?
Being better than the last bird who kind of fucked you over.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, like he went on to do like this animal guy, right? He went on to do
Fucking animal.
He went on to do another restaurant called Onward.
Onward,
Which is
see,
petty
yeah,
as
fuck
fuck.
that.
I'm like, that's not the path I wanted to go down.
Yeah,
and of course,
yeah.
the restaurant's closed.
Fuck that guy, man.
Exactly. That's what I say.
Onward, man.
Onward. And he
Onward,
was
straight to
he
hell.
did that while
Right.
we were in the process
I
of
love that.
closing
That's like
Grace.
some toxic ex being like, I'm working on myself now.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, screw you guys. You guys were the golden egg, but I'm gonna go over and do this other project.
Yeah.
God.
Is he? He's got a lot. He's got other restaurants. I didn't know.
No, he has nothing now.
Yeah.
They're all closed.
Good.
But he's a real estate shark, so
Man, this guy's in real estate.
he's a
Fucking
scumbag.
a piece of
It's a
shit.
small. It's a little like it's like a small boys club here though in Chicago, man.
Yeah, the
like
real estate
all,
thing?
They all know.
But
each
he
other
doesn't
and
even do
shit.
proper real estate. He goes in and buys foreclosed houses
Oh, God.
on a
Yeah.
super low profit. And
Slumlord. Yeah,
he's
sounds
worse
cool.
than that. Yeah.
Flipping shit.
Yeah.
What are you guys? What's a big focus of you guys right now in the restaurant? Things are, in a weird situation. We're dealing with the same pressures. We're seeing what's happening in New York and San Francisco. Is there a possibility of things reverting back a little bit? Are you guys just like, eyeing the prize moving forward, aiming for 3 stars on the next year, and
Yeah.
that's the goal?
Pushing. We're pushing for 3 next year. I mean, we're constant refinement, constant training of staff. Focusing on our guest safety, our employees' safety. So we put the masks back on to help get rid of this goddamn pandemic. Hopefully, to help just to play our part in it. That was everybody was so happy to have the masks off in the restaurant. I remember the day it was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
and then
breathe.
now it's like back on.
Yeah.
So
No,
kind of eats at you a little bit.
Yeah.
our staff, I can tell you, 95% of our staff just couldn't wait to get those masks off, man. I mean, I don't think people realize what it was like to try and work under those conditions and trying to breathe through the mask. It's,
I don't think it's good for you.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
It can't be.
yeah. But
So yeah, we're back on the mask situation. We're just pushing every day, trying to be better. Yeah, I mean we're struggling just like everyone else.
Yeah.
The reservations are phenomenal. People have supported us. We're doing
fuck yeah, man. I saw you
better
guys
numbers than
booked out, man.
we
For
were
a little
doing
bit.
before. I mean, so yeah, it's been great. We've been able to develop Reve Burger, which is ever spelled backwards, in case you didn't know.
You know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Oh fuck.
and
God
it
damn it,
actually
Thomas.
means to dream.
Oh, get the fuck out! It has a
Yeah.
meaning to it,
Yeah.
other than the palindrome.
French term to dream.
Wow.
Interesting.
So when we thought of that, I was like, I actually wanted a cocktail lounge concept named Ever.
Oh,
or
really?
named Rev.
Rev. That would have been a
This
great
came
cocktail
first.
name.
Was
Rev
the
Bar.
was the burger spot. So
Yeah.
hopefully you're dreaming of burgers when you fall asleep and
Yeah.
getting people to come back and wanting more. So
Are you gonna expand on Reve Burger?
we are. We will. We will.
Yes.
We'll continue to grow that brand and
What's on the menu besides the burger? Do you guys do?
do a spicy chicken sandwich. We do chicken fingers, bacon burger. All of it. I just wanted it simple. I didn't want
Yeah,
any.
yeah.
When we first opened, because we were doing it inside of the restaurant when it was closed.
Yeah.
So I wanted zero alterations to the menu or to the burger. It was like you get it the way you get it, and that's
Yeah.
it. I don't
Yeah.
care. We're not doing anything else
No
because we
mods.
deal with allergies and aversions every night, all night
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
That alone is exhausting. So I said, if we're gonna do burgers, then
has to
you
be.
get it the way it is, or you don't. I don't care. Don't buy it. Don't buy
McDonald's in the 80s.
it. Exactly.
He's
Don't
like,
care. Don't buy
Thomas,
it.
take your fucking pickles off yourself.
Exactly. I'm not cheese. Sorry, no cheese. Take it off yourself. Scrape it
Yeah.
off with a knife.
It's
I don't care.
melted on it. So
But now that we have a proper space that you can build your own
Awesome.
type of burger. But
And what's the location of the Rev Burger?
it is 1363 West Fulton Street.
Awesome.
There's a beautiful pickup window there. You can either walk up and order it, or you can order ahead of time and pick it up at the window.
Love that, man.
I love that you knew that by heart.
Especially, dude, like I'm telling you right now, food, like picking up food, like on a pickup window in the west side of town, right, where we are. It's just so much easier than River North. Like if I have to go on like Clark and fucking Illinois or
the worst.
I don't know why.
Forget about it.
You need another person there with you.
No, it's
drive
not
the car,
happening.
and then the other person gets
Yeah,
out.
jump out. I'll do a circle around the block. And
You want to
come
get
back.
$100 ticket with your like $40 burger and fries.
I've gotten my car towed doing that.
Jeez.
Really?
Like I was literally gone for 15 minutes, and then it was probably longer. But I got, it was like 2 hours. But my car was gone.
Yeah, man. I can't do like the River North Gold Coast. Like forget about it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Michigan Avenues.
Um,
It's the worst.
way.
sorry.
way.
Back to 13.
13. Significance of 13.
Well, as a child, it was just my dad's lucky number.
Oh, okay.
Growing up, it always was his number. It was kind of like a family thing. So
Oh, okay.
It
And you
just
still
stuck with
kind of
me.
have certain things that you do. Like does 13 still have a
I mean, it has a family meaning to me. Other
Yeah.
than that, not really.
okay.
It's not. I don't think it's like a bad luck number. I don't.
Like if
believe
you were
it as-
racing MotoGP, that would be your number.
Yeah, for sure. It was my baseball number. For sure,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have
You
a
said he was a drummer. Was he like a metal drummer, or is this
No,
totally,
rock and
totally-
roll.
Totally separate?
Just rock and roll. Yeah. His idol was Ringo Starr from the Beatles.
Oh yeah, Ringo. Ringo's getting love. Look at that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Ringo love.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it from me, but
Yeah. That's cool. Do you watch MotoGP at all? I know you don't follow it, but
I did a few years ago. I watched it.
Yeah. Valentino
just-
Rossi fan.
Valentino Rossi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like him. Yeah. I just,
Unbelievable. Like that guy's been doing it since he was like a little baby, and so like his career,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
he's like it's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It's pretty
insane.
phenomenal just to watch these guys do what they do.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a Formula One guy, so like watching Lewis
yeah.
right now, and all these people trying to knock him down and be like, "Yeah, I don't want to see Lewis win another one." It's like, dude, why would you not want to see one of the greatest guys?
Yeah,
Like you're
keep
witnessing a legend in the making, or at his peak, and Rossi was no different. Like these guys were, amongst, these are men amongst, boys in their field, and
yeah. I mean, look at Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods.
Tiger,
or, Kobe Bryant. All these greats that
Yeah.
rise above.
yeah.
They're
that
competing with
average.
themselves
Yeah.
at that point.
And
I
to
love
say,
that.
"Oh, I don't want to see him win again." Why not? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, to
amazing.
do it again and again, like that's
Yeah.
people underestimate staying at that level,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like you just show up at the fucking playoffs,
Right.
right? Like it takes the entire year to get there,
Yeah,
and all the
absolutely.
training prior to,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with your accolades, right? It's like day in and day out, you're still, Sundays are sacred,
Yeah.
but like
It's the daily grind.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Still got the
People
grind.
think about like the titles and the championships and
Yeah.
the playoffs, or but like it's the everyday stuff. It's the
Yeah, it's
stuff
like-
you do in the morning to get yourself ready for that shift.
Yeah.
And people don't want to look at that stuff.
Yeah.
They just want that instant gratification, and they're just like, oh, what do I need to do to get that? Right? That what do I need to get 3 stars? It's like, no, you got to put in the grind. It's
30
every
years
minute.
worth of work.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
It's like when we got the 2 Michelin stars, and had we only been open for 3 months at the time.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's
That's
a great
congratulations
achievement.
on
But
that.
people were like, "How did that happen?" I'm like, "Well, I spent 30 plus years working.
Yeah.
That's how that happened. It's
Yeah.
not overnight success. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
just because we were open 3 months.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tremendous amount of work that goes into that.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can't take that away from us.
Yeah, man. And it's a whole team. I mean, you guys. How much do you play in part with Michael in the front, as far as like, do you guys taste the pairings together and everything?
So when we develop a dish, it goes from the development stage. It goes from paper, it comes from us sketching on paper, writing down ideas, to taking those ideas into the kitchen, working out the dishes, tasting it, changing it to a place where I'm happy with the dish. And
Yeah.
then at that point, it gets to the wine team. And then they start opening bottles, and we taste the food with the wine, figure out where they want to go with it. Because at that point, it can decide where it lands on the menu.
Yeah.
Just because I take a beef dish off and replace it with another beef dish doesn't mean that would be the final savory.
Right.
It kind of just plays onto where Michael sees it with the wine team, and then how does it play through the menu.
Yeah.
And, at that point, we can either add or take away from the dish. But if he's set on a wine, that he really wants to use, we can cook for the wine as the wine can't cook for
I was
the
actually
wine.
just gonna ask, like, does he ever have like, hey, I really wanna show this to our guests. Can you?
Normally he'll wait for something. You know,
okay.
If he's super excited about one of his wines, then he could either wait for
Something
a new
to
dish to
match
come
it,
on,
yeah.
or we can have conversation about it. Certainly say, you know, these have these 8 profiles that I really see in the wine that then maybe that gets in my subconscious to start thinking about a new dish that has somewhat some of those flavors into it.
Yeah, he incepts you.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's always about the food first.
Yeah.
And then they could pair wines around it. Or if they're really stuck on something, like if we really want to serve this, but this has, you know, the red pepper doesn't work in it.
Yeah.
Okay, then we can omit that and it's still a great dish. Then it works great.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, majority of the people are pairing with the wine.
True.
So it has to work.
Yeah, I didn't realize the importance of wine until I mean, obviously wine is important, but like but working with Tom, he's shown me, like, number one, he's taught me a lot about wine in general, but just like the experience can be elevated, right, just through this bottle of juice.
Right.
It's insane how different your experience can be just by adding that one component to your
It's a
to your
guest
meal.
experience. Like a lot of times, I think a lot of chefs just look at the plate of food that they're cooking, but then you just have to kind of remember that there's a different experience happening at the table, and usually there's something being enjoyed with that. And if that beverage is completely clashing with the food, you know, and it's not complementing it, then both things are falling short. They
Right.
could be great on its own, but together they could fall if it's just not right.
And some people don't realize that it's happening, and then it's in their mind, they're like, man, it was an okay experience, you know.
exactly.
But when they have the right pairing, it's just like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I want to start wrapping things up here. I'm sure you got a lot of things to do. Let's talk about Ever. You guys are open again, just to remind everybody listening, 5 days a week. That is Tuesday through Saturday.
Correct.
And reservations can be made on Talk. Also, if you're interested in checking things out and seeing what the team is doing over there, Michael Muser is holding wine tastings that you can book on Talk as well, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
I think it's $125, and you get to it's a blind wine tasting. I know Angeline's probably going to sign up for that. I'll probably join her.
Yeah, it's a great time. Michael goes through each bottle. It's all blind tasting. You get to put down your notes and kind of guess. It's makes it fun and trivial.
And for anybody that doesn't know Michael Muser, I've had the privilege of meeting him when I was a young number 4 manager. He came and spoke at my restaurant. This is back when you guys had Grace, and he did just like an inspirational speech. He's good friends with my mentor, Steve Tyndall. And,
I know Steve very well.
And Michael came to the restaurant and did this unbelievable speech for our staff. And I can tell you that we had some knuckleheads in this restaurant, you know, not passionate, but like everyone's mouth was like, their jaws were on the floor just listening to Michael. He's extremely animated and, wildly interesting human being. And, you guys should definitely check out his wine tastings. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience. He's got a really sharp palate and a really keen eye for some delicious wines. So, anything else? Reve Burger, again, 5 days a week?
5 days a week, yeah.
Awesome. And you can
days a
pick that up through delivery platforms, but we highly encourage everybody to just go pick up your damn food yourself.
Go pick it up, goddammit.
It'll save you a tremendous amount of money, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Social media, where can people find you, man?
So Instagram, Ever Restaurant on Instagram, and also Curtis Duffy on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
One word.
And does Michael do all the photos for the restaurant?
Michael does all the photos for the restaurant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Super.
come a long way. He's phenomenal at what he's doing now.
Yeah. And just to throw him out there, it's Photo Muse.
Photo underscore muse.
Photo underscore
believe.
Muse. One or the other.
One or
You'll
other.
find
You'll
it.
find him, yeah. Michael
A
Muser.
lot of black and whites, super emotional photos. They're great though. Like
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It's like Ansel Adams shit for me. But it's like more human stuff. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time
guys.
today, man. Chef, it's been a pleasure.
Seriously, Chef. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Taking
Thank
time
you
out of your
guys.
day.
We wish the burgers were a little bit warmer for you.
No, it's all good. I'll go and have a Reve Burger on the way home.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Kidding.
We
Thanks
might too.
again. And again, you're joining us. Thank you for joining us on the show. Thank you for joining us on Kimchi Kids podcast. I'm Thomas.
I'm Andy.
That's a wrap.